All right, so ready to step into this world. It's the world of Blade Runner 2049, all that neon and rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's visually amazing, but it really makes you think about what it even means to be human, you know?
Yeah.
When the line between real and artificial is so blurry.
Right.
And we're going deep on this one with a really detailed movie review. So whether you're like a total sci-fi nerd or just curious about this film, this is the place to be.
Awesome. So what I think is so interesting about this film is that it takes place like way after the original Blade Runner.
Right.
But it doesn't just like rehash the same stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It goes deeper into all those philosophical questions that the first one brought up.
Okay, so let's set the stage for people who haven't seen it.
Yeah, okay.
It's 2049, and we've got replicants, which are basically bioengineered beings that look just like us.
Right.
They're still a huge part of society. And our main character is Kay, played by Ryan Gosling. And he's a replicant Blade Runner, which is like a futuristic detective hunting down rogue replicants.
Yeah. The review I read really loved Gosling's performance.
Yeah.
He brings this quiet intensity to Kay, and you really feel the character struggling with like everything he thought he knew.
He's not just some emotionless robot, though.
Right.
You see these glimpses of vulnerability. It's like he's yearning for something more.
Totally.
Which leads us to Joy, played by Armas, Kay's holographic companion.
Oh, yeah.
And their relationship is, well...
Complicated.
Yeah, complicated. The review called it warmth and complexity, which I thought was interesting because it makes you think about what love and connection can even mean in this kind of world.
It's almost as if the film is asking if a replicant can have real feelings.
Right.
How are they any different from us?
Yeah.
Where's the line between human and artificial?
It's blurry.
Yeah. And then to make it even more complicated,
Right.
Kay finds the secret that just throws everything into chaos.
Yeah. Talk about a plot twist.
Right.
This discovery sends him on a quest to find Rick Deckard, the Blade Runner from the first movie.
Wow.
And Harrison Ford is back.
Oh, cool.
Seeing him on screen again just adds this whole other level of emotion to the story.
Okay.
That connection to the past is really important.
Totally. It would have been easy to make this film just like a flashy action movie.
Yeah.
But it intentionally slows things down.
Right.
Builds this like atmosphere of mystery and suspense.
And speaking of atmosphere, can we talk about the visuals?
Oh, yeah.
They are mind-blowing.
I know.
The review called Roger Deakins Cinematography a masterpiece, and I totally agree.
Absolutely.
Every shot is like a painting.
Yeah.
From those empty landscapes to the neon streets of L.A. It's not just pretty to look at, though.
Right.
The visuals really reinforce the themes of the film.
Exactly. Like those scenes in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Everything's covered in dust, decay.
Yeah.
Which kind of mirrors how like lost memories and forgotten history are all over the film.
You totally get this feeling that something big happened there.
I bet.
Like ghosts of the past are still hanging around. And the sound design, that constant hum of technology.
Yes.
The echo of footsteps in empty spaces.
Oh, yeah.
It all adds to that feeling of unease and being isolated.
It's like the world itself is another character.
Right.
And the sound design brings it to life.
Yeah, you can practically feel like the weight of this dystopian future pressing down on you.
Totally.
So we've got incredible acting.
Yeah.
A plot that'll blow your mind. Visuals that can make you cry.
And the sound.
And sound design that's like its own language telling the story.
I love that.
But this movie is long.
Yeah.
Almost 3 hours.
It is.
Did the review mention that?
They did say the pacing might not be for everyone.
Okay.
It's a slow burn. You have to just let the story unfold. But that's how the film gets into these deep ideas about memory, identity, and what it means to be human.
So you're saying it's not just some mindless action movie. You got to like use your brain.
I think it definitely rewards people who are willing to think a bit deeper.
Okay.
And engage with the questions it asks.
All right, I'm intrigued. So far, we've got this complex, thought-provoking film with stunning visuals and sound. But I have a feeling we're just scratching the surface here.
Yeah, you're right about that. In the next part, we'll look at how the director, Denis Villeneuve, tackled this sequel.
Okay.
And what makes his vision so unique. We'll also dig into those deeper themes, like how the film uses replicants to really explore what makes us human.
I'm ready when you are.
Great.
Okay, so we're back in that like hazy neon world of Blade Runner 2049. We talked about Kay's quest, the amazing visuals, the sound. But what's got me thinking is how the film tackles these huge questions, you know?
It's not just about cool gadgets in the future.
Right.
This film really goes deep into memory, identity, what it even means to be human, when real and artificial are basically the same thing.
Okay, so how does the director, Denis Villeneuve, I think that's how you say it,
Yeah.
how does he approach these themes in a way that feels new, not just like a repeat of the first film?
Well, the review talked about how he builds on the world Philip K. Dick created in his book, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Right, which the original was based on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He takes those ideas about what makes us human and pushes them even further.
Okay.
Like exploring the ethics of technology that can copy not just how we look, but our emotions and memories, too.
It's like he's taking those classic sci-fi questions and making them relevant to us now,
Right.
Especially with AI getting more advanced.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he doesn't shy away from the dark side of that progress.
Yeah.
The film shows this world where technology makes people feel isolated and alone, even though it's trying to connect us, like with joy.
Yeah, their relationship is something else. It's beautiful, but also kind of sad.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what love even is in a world like that.
Right.
Like, is it real if it's programmed?
Yeah. Can a hologram really understand and feel human emotions?
Those are some big questions.
Yeah, they're at the heart of the film. It doesn't give us easy answers, though.
Right.
But it makes us think about our own ideas of consciousness, what it means to be aware, to feel, and how he defined what's human when tech is blurring the lines.
One thing I liked was that even with all this deep stuff, the film never forgets about the characters.
Right.
Kay's journey is so interesting. You can't help but feel for him as he struggles to figure out who he is and what his purpose is.
The review praised Ryan Gosling for showing so much emotion without a lot of words.
Yeah, he's great.
He makes Kay's struggle feel real subtle but heartbreaking. He's this replicant built to obey, but he's got doubts, longing.
Right.
He wants more than just his programming.
And that's what makes it relatable.
Yeah.
We've all felt that need for meaning, for something more. Kay's just doing it in this crazy future world.
And about those visuals, I think it's cool how Villeneuve uses the setting to mirror the character's feelings.
Oh, interesting.
Those empty, kind of bleak landscapes.
Yeah.
They're like Kay's inner turmoil. And the sterile environments, they showed the dehumanizing side of all that technology.
So the visuals aren't just pretty, they add to the story.
Exactly. They make you feel the weight of this future, the loneliness, even in places with all this advanced tech.
And then there are those moments of color, the neon, they're like little bursts of hope.
Or connection. It's like visually showing that struggle between light and dark.
Both in the characters and the world.
Exactly.
But you said the review had some criticisms, right?
Yeah, the main one was the pacing.
Okay.
The film is long.
Almost 3 hours.
Right. And some people might find it slow.
Yeah, especially if they're expecting action.
Totally. But the review said that slow pace is important for the story and characters to breathe, to create that space for thinking and feeling.
I can see that. It's not a film you can just have on in the background.
Right. You got to pay attention.
Be willing to engage with what it's saying.
Yeah, it's a slow burn, but it stays with you.
The other criticism was about the bad guy.
Oh, Neander Wallace.
Yeah, played by Jared Leto.
Right, the review liked Leto's acting, but said the character wasn't developed enough. We don't know much about his motivations.
Okay, I can see wanting more from him.
Yeah, especially since he's so important to the story.
But I kind of like the mystery around him.
Yeah, it adds to the intrigue.
Right.
It's true. The film doesn't answer everything.
Which can be frustrating.
Yeah, if you like things tied up neatly.
But those open ends make you think, right?
Totally. They invite you to come up with your own ideas.
So it's not just watching a movie, it's participating.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's part of what makes Blade Runner 2049 so good. It makes us think, feel, and question what we thought we knew about being human.
So we've got this visually stunning, emotionally complex film that asks these big questions about humanity, tech, consciousness.
Right.
But we're not done yet.
Not quite. In the last part, we'll look closer at some of the highlights and criticisms.
Okay.
And we'll leave you with one final question to think about.
Can't wait to hear it. So we've spent all this time in the world of Blade Runner 2049 talking about the visuals, the characters, all those big questions about what makes us human. What really sticks with me is how it uses sci-fi to explore these philosophical ideas.
Yeah.
It's not just spaceships and lasers. It's about consciousness, who we are, our place in everything.
Totally.
It's like They took those huge questions we've always asked and put them into this incredible world.
Right.
It makes you think about things differently.
It doesn't give you the answers.
Right.
It lays out these complex problems and lets the viewer figure it out.
Okay.
Like Kay and Joy, their relationship.
Yeah, that one's tough.
Makes you ask, can a hologram really feel love? Or is it all just programming?
And if it is programmed,
does that mean it's less real for Kay?
Exactly. That's what's so cool. It's almost like the film is saying those feelings.
right.
Even if they're programmed, they're part of what makes us human.
It's like those lines between real and fake.
Yeah.
Not so clear anymore.
And that connects to memory and identity. Kay's whole journey is about figuring out who he is, where he comes from.
Right.
But in a world where memories can be like implanted, changed,
Yeah. How can you be sure of anything?
what does real even mean?
It's mind-blowing, really. And it makes you think about tech in our own lives.
Oh, absolutely.
We don't have replicants yet,
Not yet.
but social media, VR, AI, it's already messing with what's real.
Right. It's like the film is warning us.
Yeah.
Not saying tech is bad, but think about how we use it. The consequences of our choices.
It's definitely a film that stays with you, makes you think afterwards.
I think that's the mark of a great story,
Yeah.
when it makes us look at the world ourselves in new ways.
And that brings us to our final thought. Imagine you could have a Joy, your own AI companion, like Kay. Would you?
Wow.
What would that say about how you see humanity connection?
That's a great question.
It's one Blade Runner 2049 wants us to think about.
I think so. With technology changing so fast,
Right.
it's more important than ever to have these conversations.
Absolutely. Well, we hope this deep dive gave you a new perspective on the film.
Yeah, some new ideas to think about.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into Blade Runner 2049.
It's been fun.
Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.